Today from our analyst Reko Nare from eNCA Capital. Thank you so much for your time this evening. So as we approach the end of the third quarter, perhaps just give us an overview of the year-to-date performance in both local and offshore markets, along with some of the micro and macro factors that have influenced market movements over the past 9 months.
Hi there, Heidi. It's really great to be on the show. Thanks for having me. It's been quite a roller coaster of a ride for both local and offshore investors over the last 9 months. It's a general comment to make, but I think, across the asset classes, this year has been a very volatile one. We did anticipate that at the beginning of the year within the markets, both from a local perspective and offshore perspective, just given, the global inflationary outlook along with the growth outlook globally. But markets haven't disappointed as far as giving us something interesting to speak about over the last 9 months. I think, just starting off with offshore markets, we did see developed markets just get off to a very strong start at the beginning of the year, using the MSCI World as a bit of a proxy for developed markets. We saw the MSCI World Index up 7% in dollar terms at the end of January. The big story there was around 2022's laggards being 2023's big winners, specifically in that US mega cap space. And since then, we've seen a strong performance out of offshore markets, investors having underestimated kind of the resilience that we would see specifically out of the US economy, and inflation continues to moderate. And with inflation continuing to moderate, I think, developed markets in particular in the US continue to climb what they call that wall of worry. But with that said, it's important to note that kind of the outperformance that we've seen within offshore markets has been concentrated within that mega cap space.
Let's quickly speak about today. How did the local market perform?
So just turning to today specifically, I think what we have seen is we have seen our market rebound. Our market has been under a lot of pressure over the last few trading sessions with the US 10-year yield significantly higher. I think that has fueled a very risk-off sentiment that we've seen within markets. But our markets have performed relatively well today. We have seen our all-share index up 0.4%, industrials flat, resources up 1.6%, and financials up 0.2%. So really resources and financials driving that. But as I said, that risk-off sentiment coming off of a low base, I think what we are seeing is a bit of bargain hunting happening within our markets from those depressed levels. But with that said, I don't think we are in the woods yet as far as our market's concerned.
Okay, let's just maybe wrap it up with Capitec and their financial results. We've just spoken to the CEO who actually spoke about the very tough economic environment that we're in, but it seems as though they did fairly well.
Yeah, a very solid set of numbers. Heidi, HEPS up and interim dividends up 9%. They saw that total equity component increase by 13%. A positive reaction on the back of that release. Share price up 7.5% today. From our perspective, we really like Capitec. It's one of South Africa's growth stories. And when it just really speaks to the current market conditions that have benefited both the bankers and the insurers.
Okay, thank you so much for your time this evening. We do appreciate it. That was Reko Nare from eNCA Capital.